certainly an interesting map balance with flak position, western approach for the Germans, and cemetery and Rosetta FM for the Allies. And then you've got hospice randomly up here at the top.
All right, so 25th is just gonna be doing artillery. I'll just be used as a site essentially.
Oh, you're gonna deploy as a spotter out there for your arty?
Essentially a squad lead. I'm just gonna be there. I'm just gonna mark spots for them. Yep. Yep. So call in areas, I'll ping it for them, and then we'll lay down some fire because we have 2 guns operational at the moment.
Okay, go ahead and point guns to my artillery mark for now, depending on how the cap race gets ready.
Can you pop it down one more time?
I've got an artillery mark in hospice. Yep. That's in the back of the 3-story building.
So initially, I would give the map advantage to the Germans.
Since it's hospice, gentlemen, we gotta take control of that top borderline. Hug that shit.
Right, good luck.
Hey boys, we practiced this point a million times. Run them the fuck over.
Fuck yeah, brother. Come on.
I'm gonna drop supplies in Gulf 3 for Gary. Can I get an officer to volunteer to build that Gary before they charge into hospice? Volunteer. Anybody?
I can do it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Looks like they've got Panzer 2 over here.
In Gulf 3, supply drops inbound.
I already marked it.
So a bunch of them are leaving middle spawn. There's
I still need another set of nodes, I believe.
Our node crews.
We need somebody to volunteer for another set, I think, right?
Yo, Propane, what you want my squad on?
I need nodes.
Roger.
Ideally, I would have liked to see them start.
I have an engineer right behind you, Propane, if you want him to do it right here.
Yeah, it's just a straight shot to hospice.
Right
I think
Alrighty.
This is a poor choice of roads right here. But we'll see how they do in the initial push. And we're off. Welcome to Friday Night Fights. I'm Aviation from the 2nd Armored Milson Division hosting this server tonight. On the U.S. side, we have the Old Guard, TOG, and 25th Panzer Grenadier Division.
Joe, I killed your engineer, but go ahead and have him. Notes anyway.
And that's their leadership chat that you're going to be hearing. On the German side, you have 2nd Armored and Lucky Strikes. Looks like we've got a defensive division dropping off on Western Approach. So looks like 2nd Armored side is taking a much more defensive strategy as opposed to rushing everybody into hospice. They're going to be setting up defenses on Western Approach just in case.
I'm building the garrison up here.
Whereas with Cemetery, it looks like they've got a few people back. And the rest of them look like they're advancing forward. Initial cap progress is going to the German side. We've got the Lucky Strikes contingent with full control of.
Hey Joe, let me know if there's any guys flanking us out right there.
And heading out right now, winning the initial gunfights. They definitely got a little bit of.
We're up here pushing north
here.
F4, lost visual.
Let's go ahead and start firing that arty on that mark.
Looks like artillery has taken out the transport
they outnumber
truck, but
some
it looks
shit
like
up here.
the Germans have gotten out first.
You guys know what to do.
TOG is advancing over on this street.
Look at the map,
here,
tank to the north of hospice.
shielded from the Panzer 2.
Charlie, I got a supply drop coming down on you.
I have a support coming up here.
Too late. Supplies are inbound.
It's going to be absolutely key for both sides to control the enemy artillery, especially with the pressure that is being exerted here on hospice. with the Allied artillery.
Okay, recon's falling over.
German recon's going to have to deal with that relatively quickly.
In the Echo column.
We've got a good control of the north from the Allied side. Looks like they're trying to flank the Panzer II. And the Panzer II is kind of sitting here without infantry support. That's not going to be very good for him to start.
Okay, we got a tank on recon.
I think he's starting to notice that, and he's beginning to back up. A brutal takeout of the squad leader there, with a few bonus balls thrown in. And the Panzer II is executing a better part of valor and booking it out of the engagement area. A very smart move on their part. They had no infantry support backing them up. Now it looks like Texi's checking for satchels.
Jig will be on defense
Doesn't
for
look
you.
like they're...
Gotcha, we're on
already
defense as well. We've redeployed.
Copy.
Sounds like a ricochet on a Greyhound. Let's see how they attack this Greyhound. Spanky's going for a flank. Looks like MacGuffin is coming in for a satchel. Raider misses with his rocket.
Pretty desperate for nodes here, so there's a supply truck mid.
Yep, my guy is building nodes.
Lux down. Lux down.
Lux has been destroyed, and
Let's clean up those tank marks in the north, guys.
MacGuffin's going in for the satchel. And nope, Biscuit gets out in time. We've got another assault player here, so we might have another satchel attempt. We've got a Stuart advancing toward the center. Let's see how that works.
Yo, I'm gonna get my squad to defend up
Large
towards
is
the north.
going for the satchel.
All right.
All right,
Will we get it
spawn's
in
been
place?
overtaken. They've
We'll be
already
in our
hit
attack
the
mark.
spawn.
Alright, my defend mark. Yeah, the recon should be
Is
back
he
there.
bluffing, or does he have a satchel?
Yep.
Do what you can, King. Let me know if you need my help. I'm pretty much the only one that's going to be able to help you. Everyone else.
I mean, it looks like he has the class that has the
Echo, I got
satchel,
supplies
yes.
dropping, but I just sent him right after I saw your area mark.
Because he should be able to plan it
Roger,
while
we're
they're
gonna
backing
try to
up.
clear that spot out before we
Oh,
before they hone
he
in on
was a
it.
little bit too close and got run over.
Right.
That's unfortunate for him. So it looks like the 75 medium lives for the moment. Advantage to the Allies so far in the armor. They've got a Stuart and a 75 medium.
Second
working
defense,
together.
Gary, built on cemetery.
Thank you.
Obviously, I can't see where the German armor is unless I actually see it on the battlefield, so we'll keep an eye out for that.
What are you? Infantry?
We've got a Panzer IV right here. Working on his way south to clear out.
I don't know. Pick your own targets for now. I don't have anything in particular. There is that tank mark in Echo 4. I'm not sure if it's still up.
Hospice is being defended here by Captain Spears
You might try
and
flanking
the
north
Lucky
around
Strikes gang.
Hospice.
We've got a little bit of a battle here to the south. Looks like we've got another Lucky Strikes infantry squad
ahead and spawn
with
76
some
up
2nd
north too,
Armored
by
in
the way.
support.
There's a
Tank carriers up.
supply truck heading towards Cemetery, the backside.
They do have good control of these
Gotcha,
streets
try and
to the
get us
south
a
of
ping on it if you
Hospice.
can,
The
my man.
German side does right now.
Enemy medium.
Yeah, I
Medium
did.
on
It's
Charlie.
definitely
though.
a hot firefight at the moment. Over at
Down here in
Cemetery,
the
it looks
southeast,
like
we're
the
getting with
Allies
recon,
have solid control.
Should be able to find them here in a second.
Copy. Do what you can. Probably a bombing run inbound on
Engineer in
cemetery.
here. I don't know if they're going to try
Two guys
to
on Jig Mark.
plant some
I
satchels.
don't think it's
and
recon anymore.
do some screwing around with the enemy spawn. But that's the only real incursion into
Enemy
cemetery I
tank on
see,
Charlie has
except
been
for
satcheled.
a recon team right here. This is Alex and Pelican. Most likely making their way back to Rousseau
Charlie, how's that infantry-
and
or how's
clear
that
out
area
back
infantry-wise?
garrisons. The
We're
other
fighting for
recon
it.
team right
There's
here
still a
is
tank.
Cecil
It was
taking
satchel, but I don't
out
know if it
supplies that were meant to build nodes, so that's going to hurt the commander there.
It's
And
dead.
we've got Clam right here, and they may be heading to disrupt artillery at some point.
Enemy tank on Charlie Mark.
There's an enemy
Would you,
light or supply truck moving
Quick look at Hospice, which
through
looks to
a
be
garrison
mainly
around my
secured
marker
by
to
the Germans. Marx is here and just got shot down. And let's see if we can locate the recon.
Yo, Joe,
for
do you
the
guys got
Allies
guys
side
back
real
there?
quick.
We got their outpost, and I think it's just that recon still now.
Gotcha.
Fox, are you heading back to there, Artie?
Hey, Propane, when you got time, could you drop supplies on cemetery? I'm gonna get an
It doesn't
engineer
look
to
like
start
they
building
have
defenses.
anything, and it doesn't look like
Yeah, I can
the,
we can head to
German
Artie.
side's
Are we
using
getting
Eglise and
strike there
artillery yet.
at all?
I think so. I think I hear it firing, but that might be ours.
Alright, we'll just head there and check it out.
And give me a mark on the supplies.
Just
We'll
inside of cemetery.
tone down the leadership chat so the
Alright, RD's
commentary
coming back up
doesn't
one.
get drowned out by it.
Renly, did you blow him up? Is he gone?
No, this another tank, a heavy. And
A heavy? Okay.
So it looks like the Allied recon
Enemy garrison
is
on
over
Charlie King's
here, and they're going to be slowly working their way back to cause havoc on the back line of the Germans. Whereas it looks like the German recon is already taking a more active role. Typical strategy, at least for 2nd Armored, is to send one recon unit on the back line to disrupt spawn points and one to deal with artillery. And it looks like that's exactly what's going on right here. Clam has cleared out the Allied artillery guns, and Voodoo and, Alex and Pelican here are clearing up Rousseau de Ferme and dealing with any back spawns on the cemetery, which is what Attack Pelican is doing right now. Still no real pressure on cemetery, so TOG can go ahead and buckle down and deal with setting up any sort of defenses or preparations to make sure the cemetery is cleared.
Hotel, what's on that Gary mark?
Looks like the main battle has been toward the south of Hospice in the town of St. Eglise, which looks so far to be dominated by the German side. There's not too many people alive except for this one little pocket of resistance with this OP, which might get taken down by a greasy wiener if he gets a good nade. Instead, he gets shot down. Let's see how this firefight works. Janitor's doing some cleanup here. He's already got 2 of them. And that's the German side wiped out. So it looks like that OP is safe and secure for now. Bombing run coming through Hospice. It looks like an Allied bombing run coming through Hospice. And it looks to be fairly effective. There's nobody in the cap circle right now. Except for possibly Lucid here and Texie's slightly damaged Panther, which King Orc is now repairing. And we've got a Sherman heading back right now.
Go Charlie, I'm gonna try and drop supplies there again.
Garrison to G4
Heading
side.
toward Large Mouse and domes him with a shot with the coax. Very nice shot by that driver. Engineer on engineer violence possible right here. I don't know if they see each other or hear each other.
Yeah, we've got enemy infantry pushing in towards cemetery, southeast.
Oh, brutal kill trade right
Near
there.
our garrison.
Cecil. I believe that's just a
We're reacting now.
scenery
Close on
gun.
the
They
south
don't
of
have a
my
PAC
mark.
40 back there.
Jig.
So Cecil's probably reporting this tank right here.
You shooting or
Looks
watching
like
our garrison
we've got
close to
a
the cemetery?
76 moving forward. So let's see how the armor situation develops.
Garrison's
Pretty
gone.
close south.
Outpost is on item mark.
Meanwhile, we've got a few small forays into enemy territory with Cemetery here. A little bit of a Mexican standoff here with Brader and Travis Bickle.
tank on Charlie marker is now active again.
Is it that heavy?
Good kill by Brader.
Copy.
And it looks like they're going to try to infiltrate the cemetery here and possibly clear out some spawn points. We have cap progress beginning on Hospice.
Hey, just heads up,
Looks like a
medium
vast
tank
majority
just
of
on
the
spawn.
infantry for the
Yeah,
German
just
side has
through.
been wiped out. This battle for the southern edge has been won by the Allies. They're starting to spawn back on their
There's a
spawn
Puma
points
soldier.
and trying to retake that 3-story building at Hospice there.
On Jig, infantry marked as at least 3 or
We've
4
got
right
a
there moving up.
tanker
towards the
and
cemetery.
infantry here.
Yeah, they're pushing in right now.
It's a
We've had a couple
damaged
inside
75
cemetery.
medium.
Heavy tanks down.
Looks like the Panther has been destroyed by the Allies.
At least 4 now on Jig mark.
Hey, Biscuit, are
The
you good?
Germans look like
Or
they're
what's going on?
re-establishing their dominance on Hospice, but they're getting pushed hard from the south by the Americans.
Yo, Joe, if you can, we need to try and get another garrison up.
Ooh, flamethrower
Oh,
kill
yeah, they're
trade.
getting
That's
close
gotta
to our
hurt.
outpost now.
Yeah, we died to AT. It's a
Good
squad
kill there
near
by
where we're
Tog.
at. I'll mark it when I'm get back up.
Heavy push from the south of cemetery.
So south of Hospice is completely controlled by the Allies. They've got a huge advantage of map control right now.
Guys on Hospice, make sure to keep looking for armor for that heavy not to get ambushed.
Alright. Artie's
Germans are going to
coming
have to
back up
start
on
pushing
line.
them
They're
south
pushing in
and
shit
getting
on
them clear.
Southwest Hospice or cemetery.
Need a little bit more map control. 76 is starting to push into Hospice. The Panther was destroyed, so right now there's nothing to really challenge them except for
Southeast there, we
satchels
can see
and
our outpost behind
Spanky
that
here
wall.
with the AT rocket might do some damage. Hits him once in the side to damage. Second side hit.
Hey, that garrison's going hot to the southeast of the Hospice.
Hey, by the way, the artillery should be silenced for now until I die, so I'll let you know when I die until it starts up again.
Yeah, I see it, G4. I'll see if I can clear it off.
It's a good kill on the 76 by the German side.
Hey, how did you die? Did you get satchel?
That's a very ambitious garrison here to the north. Kind of in the open,
it's an enemy
to be
Puma,
honest.
Enemy Puma.
We found their gear.
Oh, looks like a Puma,
Yeah, we just got a couple notes.
piloted by
backside of
the Lucky Strikes crew. Was able to take out the 76 after it was damaged by the rockets of Spanky over here.
Enemy tank on easy mark.
Still very good map control by the Allies trying to
What kind
retake
of tank is
Hospice.
that?
I'm not sure. My guy told me he doesn't know how to identify it.
But
God
good
damn
control
it.
over the center point
That's why I had the training for that.
by the Germans.
Brand new
And
guy.
they're just going to have to keep on
Oh, never mind.
pushing them out of there. They've got good solid OPs and garrisons, and they just need to keep on
Yeah,
scoring
hey,
and keep on
my
fighting them
recon
off
squad,
that
we're gonna
point.
move the western approach to try
Meanwhile,
to
at
take some
Cemetery, there
garrisons
was a
out.
brief amount of
Artillery
cap
should be silenced
progress,
for a while, but
and it
I
looks
thought
like they're
once
kind of
the
bearing down
garrisons
on them
what's
right
going
now.
up.
Possibly a successful
They're
airhead at
pushing
some
in
point.
hard. They're all south of cemetery right now, Joe.
Alright.
Voodoo is on the back lines, taking a page out of the 2nd Armored Commander's Manual, being essentially a 3rd recon team, being right in the thick of the action behind enemy lines. And there is cap progress on Cemetery. They're kind of getting squeezed in from multiple angles here, and it's only a question of how long until they have their spawn points taken care of. Oh, and that's going to be a devastating bombing run by 2nd Armored. It clears out a large majority of the defending forces.
5 garrisons hot.
They'll have 1 OP and I guess a garrison here up on the northwest. But the Germans are coming in from multiple angles, and that might not be good for the Allies. At the very best, they're going to have to withdraw some of their forces from the attack on Hospice, giving the defending forces on Hospice time to take a little bit of a breath.
Yeah, Joe,
try
they're
to keep
pushing
an
in
eye
west
on
and
both
east.
phases of the battle right now. It
Southwest.
looks like the Germans
Second
are
line
getting
up by
cap
PGD.
progress on the cemetery. And they've got a good chance of taking it. They need to keep on advancing forward and clear off the spawn points. Don't turn it into a static battle, otherwise it's just going to be a straight battle of attrition. Once you get some kills, you
They're
gotta
getting closer to
push
our
forward
garrison.
and take them out. Looks like Dell took out the outpost, but not before we had some spawners.
Yeah, we're running
Although,
over
looks
there.
like Dell has gotten it, and the Germans have won the gun battle on this one.
Hey, artillery, be advised, you gotta push
So,
forward.
Germans have clean control of cemetery right now, and
Copy that.
barring a miraculous comeback, they will take cemetery right now. Let's see what Rousseau is. Rousseau has no spawn points, and it looks like the German side is set to steamroll cap. There's only one garrison here on Rousseau,
Inbound on you.
and Cecil is currently dismantling it.
There's still a tank in the middle of
So that's
hospice.
going to be a huge problem
Start falling back.
for the Allied forces.
Hospice is,
Yep. We can't hold this shit. They got the whole team here.
We got some rockets from Dell. Didn't kill anyone, but it
Alright,
gave
we're
him something to think
abandoning
about in the
RD.
moment. The steamroll cap is in progress. We've got Cecil over here right in the center point, took out the supplies and the garrison. Unfortunately got taken out. Looks like Voodoo is up there to try to help with steamroll cap weight. You only really need 1 or 2 people in the zone in order to actually help out with that. We've got a Stuart heading back. Alex is observing. Obviously a sniper can't really do anything to a tank, except keep it busy for a second, and yeah. That's a fairly predictable result right there. However, we do have some AT-capable people ready to make that Stuart unhappy. I'm not sure what they're shooting at. There's nothing over there. Meanwhile, we've got a massive attack push on the final point. No garrisons have been re-established yet for the Allied side, but it looks like they are making their way into the point, kind of resetting themselves and preparing for a defense. So thankfully, this won't be one of those 15-minute steamroll jobs. We do see the Stuart go down. It looks like the Germans attempted to go for a strafing run, but there is nobody there to kill. We've got a transport truck bringing a couple of Allied reinforcements into the center point.
We just took down one of their garrisons behind cemetery. Should give us some relief.
And it looks like we've got a hard push into cemetery, and they had cap progress for a moment. They do not have a half track there, but they did get the garrison back up, so they will be able to continuously defend Rousseau. Meanwhile, at cemetery, full map control by the Germans, and I assume they've got a garrison here somewhere, although I can't find it immediately. But they have solid defensive control, and none of the Allies have been able to really put up much of a defensive just yet. They're busy consolidating on Rousseau. And it looks like a hard push. The Germans have about half of the Rousseau cap point controlled, and if they push too much further, it's going to start locking out the Allied garrison right here underneath this bridge. They're starting to get a little bit of a crossfire going thanks to this great machine gun position by Eglise. But it looks like he's about to be forced out by a Stuart, and the Stuart takes care of that problem. Great tank round from the Germans. Killed a lot of the Allied defenders, and now the Germans are getting cat progress again. And looks like there's a 75 medium from the Allies who's going to be returning fire against the German invaders.
Yo, we gotta clear them off this last point.
Looks like that's a transport truck that
They've
just
already been
lit
set
up.
up in the ship for 15 minutes.
They're just camping all of our spawns too.
Yep, Recon is still going after the Allied artillery, trying to keep them off of it. And this artillery is definitely going to be needed to try to break up this advance here by the Germans. Speaking of which, it looks like the Allies have managed to regain the Rousseau control point thanks to this Sherman over here and the artillery and a consistent flow of infantry by this garrison right here.
Yeah, I gotta check.
Yo, can y'all mark that tank by our last point?
Hey,
looks
can you
like
guys
the
call,
German
drop supplies
attackers
on my
are
drop
about to
supplies
be
marker? We could probably get a
surrounded.
garrison on that point.
And we might see this attacking garrison go to the
Enemy garrison on
wayside
Jig
very
mark.
shortly. We got a short rocket on this Stuart by Stan the Man. Might have had to rush the shot due to pressure from German gunner.
Timmy took it down.
We got a grenade battle. Grenade's a little bit too far forward, and I
Boys,
think
we need
it's
to put
just a little bit
pressure
of
on
a waiting
cemetery,
game.
else they're just
Who's going to be more patient?
Hey, can you drop supplies on my drop supply marker?
Of course,
So
in
I
this
can
little
send
waiting
it back
game,
up here?
German gunner kind of wins by default
Oh, so you're marked.
because he's succeeding in keeping Stan from getting to the tank, and he gets finishes him
G4.
off with a kill.
Do you not see it?
So the Stuart's safe for now,
Request supplies?
and the Stuart is going to be hanging out here, providing anti-infantry
cemetery.
support.
East of hospice.
It looks like, meanwhile, the German forces have swung around and dismantled the garrison on the final point. That's going to be
Marker.
crucial.
Surprise.
Did they get an airhead back here?
They're on the hard cap directly to the east of Rousseau. They're behind
That
everyone.
is a German garrison.
Alright.
I did not see how that got put down, but man, that's an ambitious plan. Coming from their spawn point, and they're getting cat progress, and I don't think there's too much that the Allies are going to be able to do to fight back from that. They've cleared out the original attack point from the Germans, but now they're coming from their own HQ spawn. They do have a one last garrison right here. Let's see if Recon knows about it. Attack Pelican is moving up here. Does he spot the garrison? And is he going to be able to take it out? Good kill by Pelican.
I'm watching them trickle in behind our point right now. They're in our HQ.
Looks like the tank just realized that the Germans are coming from their own HQ spawn. So we'll see how that works.
Hey, they're in our HQ. They have a garrison somewhere near HQ.
Meanwhile, Cemetery has little to no progress being made by the Allies. It's pretty much full court defense right now because they're getting so pressed. I haven't seen any of the German armor
We're dismantling the garrison right now.
recently,
Our HQ at the bottom.
Oh, okay, bro.
so we'll keep an eye out for those. We've got some armor movement here. This looks like a Puma by Lucky Strikes.
Garrison's down north.
Going on a flank. Looks like they're going to be going behind and taking
gotta
out
get
this
some supplies on the
Sherman
point,
medium
please.
here.
Garrison on Alpha Mark by Cemetery.
Nice rocket by Spanky. Spanky's been the rocket man so far for the German crew. He played a crucial role taking out that 76.
We got one enemy outpost now.
And it looks like the Puma's getting initial shots on this 75 medium, and there it goes.
Enemy Puma on Jig mark.
Garrison on
Infantry
point is
coming
hot,
up.
King Squad.
On Jig infantry mark to the north of the point now. We need a lot
looks
more
like the,
callouts, guys. You guys are fucking quiet. What's happening?
Yup. Wake the fuck up! Let's
A little
fucking
bit
go!
of-
Turn this shit around on them!
Wake up, call shit out.
We
let's
need some
go.
offense! Let's go! We got them cleared out!
A little bit of motivational anger from the TOG group. Sometimes it's what you need to kind of wake your guys up and get them
Alrighty.
focused on
I'll fix
coming
that.
back.
Supply truck in the mid.
Sometimes it
What's
works,
going on
sometimes it
around
doesn't. We'll see how this goes with
Diverting
them.
Supplies to get fucking strafing around.
In the meantime, it looks like Rousseau has been completely secured from the German attacking forces. I don't
Alrighty,
see
thank
any
you.
sort of
Where there's supplies.
attack garrisons or anything of the sort right now. They're getting supply drops to get a garrison defensively back on Rousseau. Meanwhile, on Cemetery,
Tank on Charlie Mark.
it looks like most of the German forces are
What
back
tank is it?
here, along with a Panzer
We
IV.
have a reported enemy garrison on my ping.
It's a Puma.
Enemy
There's
tank
a
on Alpha.
attacking garrison from the Allies up here. Right here. Not spawnable yet
marking
because of
that,
the 100-meter
Puma,
lockout
please.
radius, but I do not believe the Germans know it's here.
Puma's gone.
So that might prove
Heavy tank on
crucial
Alpha.
for counterattack later on, now that Rousseau has been
He's
secured.
just sitting there.
Infantry in
what's
front of
the-
you,
looks like
Tad,
here's
What's
so
the
the
I-
chance I can
recon
get a
teams
deep
over
spawn,
here.
middle HQ spawn?
I am
What
so
was that,
strapped
Joe?
for resources. No.
Yeah, you're all good. You're all good. Thank you, man.
It looks like the Allies are off of artillery, and I don't think the Germans were ever on artillery, although I think at this point they're too far away to be able to use it anyway. So it looks like right now the German attacking forces are pushing south out of Cemetery
Joe, pushing up
down
that
here
river south
in
side
order
of
to
Rousseau.
gain a little bit of map control,
Alrighty.
and then they're going to try to flank
Let's see if we
around
clear 'em.
this way
That's him.
and
Hey, I found a
sweep
Puma
them to
corpse.
the
I'm gonna
east.
assume this is him.
Enemy outpost.
Yes,
is
I-
joined.
That's what I was told. He got hit and exploded.
Oh, okay. God damn it.
I've got an enemy half track on my command mark. I need it taken out.
Let's code up some of these marks.
Looks like there's only one
just
set of
wants to get
nodes
that
remaining
What
for
tank
the
is it?
Allied side, so that is
Yeah,
going
it looks like a
to
medium, I can't see
that's
it.
going to cost them in the
Oh, it's
future
a heavy. It's a heavy. It's a
because
heavy.
they're already, as you can see, very
Panther,
low
I'm assuming?
on munitions
Yeah.
and manpower
King's
and
pushing
fuel.
cemetery.
So as this
Sounds good.
battle
Go-
gets longer, the
If you can get
supply
AT
drought
to
is
make
going to
it
be more
turn
of a
its ass to the
problem.
north, we'll try and flank it.
Assuming the German side has all of their nodes built out,
Uh,
which I'm not going to try
an
to
open
chase
field.
down all their nodes because it'd be kind of difficult to find.
Mid-spawn, please.
They can keep on
guys only been
pushing
using it
out
with
Panthers
ATs,
and
so it's
Panthers and
scary.
Panthers, whereas there's not enough fuel for the Allies to pump out more than 75 mediums and the occasional 76.
Come on, guys. We need more garrisons. We need a western garrison. Another.
Looks like we've got a Greyhound
go
over
to
here
my
by
mark,
TOG,
throw
flanking
garrison
all
down
the way
for
around
y'all.
to the south.
Your supports.
Rousseau is still secured, and it looks like we've got a bit of a fight here to the south of Cemetery. We've got a lone Panther right here trying to do some damage. He's got a modicum of infantry support,
Guys, can
which
you
is
get another
good.
mark on that tank?
Tank on its own without infantry support is just asking to get satcheled or flanked by AT soldiers.
1 second. Tank seems to be
This
down.
is going to be Necromancers, tank crew,
Which way is it
the
facing?
Bronx Bully. And he is sweeping around. Does he see the Greyhound? Sorry,
red
this
like
is a Stuart. The Greyhound is further back, I
We're gonna
think.
get a heavy's ass in a second.
Now, this is the good thing about infantry support. The second that this Stuart rolls up and begins to threaten the flank of the German forces, this tank's going to know about it. And he's going to turn around, and Stuart versus Panther is not going to be good news for the Stuart. I think Berger is about to realize that there's a Stuart here, and he's going to let the Panther know about it. So, in theory, we should expect this Stuart to die relatively quickly
once you get the chance, come get a supply
the
truck and
Panther
bomb
gets a
these
chance. Is the Stuart stuck?
Get an engineer to build us some more nodes.
No, the Stuart's not stuck. But I'm actually a little concerned that the Panther hasn't broken off engaging this infantry in order to deal with the Stuart. In fact, he's facing the wrong
is he
way to
facing
deal
you
with
guys?
the
No, he's
Stuart.
facing away from us.
Okay, once he starts turning, we'll try to hit him. if
Does he
turns
not
on you.
know that there's a Stuart right there?
Just
Facing the other way.
What'd you say?
Alright, here comes rockets from Untel, and yep, there's the Stuart down.
Guys, we need to start pushing up and putting pressure on cemetery. We have to do something.
Do you see my move marker, Propane?
Answer 4 on command mark. He's facing south.
Meanwhile, on Cemetery, it looks like this top garrison up here got taken down. So it's just going to be
Same
all
spot that
pressure
I called
from
in
the
supplies
south.
Last time. Could you drop some more supplies there?
And it looks like the Germans
When possible.
have the better of that engagement right now. However, we do have a Panzer IV here with Flo, the bounty hunter's tank.
Yo, Mantis, see if you can get a garrison up down there.
Surrounded by infantry, which is not going to be good for them. And might be the last hurrah right now. Nope. Completely surrounded by AT. This is not a really good position for him to be in, and we'll expect him
Tank
to
rolling up on Alpha marker
die a fiery death in a second
towards
here.
point.
Looks like Inferno's going for the satchel. Does he get the satchel on in time? Yes, he does. Flo has gotten out in order to engage Inferno. Unfortunately, Inferno's got a shotgun, but he gets pistol from behind. Does he see the satchel? Does he see the satchel? He's checking for it. I think he sees it. Nope, he doesn't see it. Well, that's going to be a GG for Flo and bounty hunters. We'll see on the respawn screen. Good kill for the allies there.
Yo, Joe, we're gonna go build a southern garrison if you can hold point.
The allies are starting to get a little bit of attack pressure on Cemetery right here from the southeast corner
Attack
here.
Gary's up, boys.
Which way is that
Meanwhile,
tank
to the
facing?
south of
The medium one in the
Cemetery,
middle
we've
of
got a little bit of a fight
He was facing south last scene, but I died a few seconds ago. So.
right down here. The Germans are going to have to keep on pushing forward and push them back into Rousseau, or go behind them like they have a few times before with some sort of a sneaky airhead bombing run or something along those lines.
My guy's gonna check it out.
I'm curious
my
to
take.
see what the supply situation is on the German side, because I know they're definitely lacking on supplies with their limited node setup. I don't think the Germans have the same problem. We've got 2 tanks heading up here. We got a 75 medium and another 75 medium. So it looks like with their fuel shortage, they're going for a medium tank advance because they haven't seen too many Panthers to deal with. Something just ate shit over here. That looks like
A southern
Greyhound.
defense Gary was built.
We lost the Gary in the movie.
Yo, Mantis, be careful. We've
Looks
got
like they
enemy
got
infantry
the
trying to push up towards our nodes in the
garrison
south.
back up here,
Yeah,
up and running
we got
again.
2 tanks that we're working
So
on.
Cemetery might get hit from all sides momentarily.
We will be his carry.
Meanwhile,
They're right there
we
on
haven't
top of
really
those nodes if you can
seen
get
too
somebody to
much
shoot
of a effective push over here. It's been a lot more static warfare. We've got Lucky Strikes here in the Panzer IV providing long-range tank gunfire and machine gun fire to try to clear him off that hedgerow.
Hey,
I'd love
there's
to see him
infantry
try
taking notes
to
down.
advance up to the next hedgerow here and kind of
I've got German protecting.
start surrounding him and paralleling him. Let's
Sounds
see
good.
where this is going to go.
We need to get that assault going, boy.
Looks like the Germans
Keep on
tried
advancing.
to
We're not being
precision
pulled back.
strike this 75. It's damaged but not destroyed. And I'm kind of curious where the
Jig
Panther
take mark
went.
is not accurate. Pete, jig take mark is not accurate.
Looks like they've got a mobile engineer repair support here. And they're heading toward the battlefield to try to break through to Rousseau.
Medium tank down.
The Lucky Strike Panzer IV was just destroyed from long range by that 75. And I have a feeling that the Germans are going to be going for a revenge kill there.
Enemy Panther on Jig mark.
Is he moving?
Yes, he is moving.
It looks like the Panther's been
Jig mark,
spotted
keep being
by
accurate for a minute. I'll let you know when
Allied
he's out of sight.
forces.
Oh, I got shot. Never mind. Easy, there's a guy in your outpost.
So that's 2 Panzer IVs in the last 5 minutes that have been killed by the Allied forces. So there might be a little bit of an armor shortage right now for the German side. However, those Panzer IVs might get replaced by
That Alpha
additional
Garrison
Panther
marker is
if
accurate.
they don't have the same
straight up
fuel
were trying to
issues
take it
as
down.
the Allied side does. Allied recon has pushed the north end of Cemetery. South side is still firmly defended by the German forces.
Enemy outpost.
But it definitely looks like the
enemy
Allies
garrison
have
marker is,
restored their defensive posture and is making progress toward Cemetery here, so it's not going to be a clean sweep in 30 minutes. Looks like the Sherman just ate shit. I'm assuming at the hands of the Panther.
Yeah, Biscuit, there's enemy infantry to your south a little bit on that item mark.
And we've got a supply
Is our
truck
killing
coming
posted?
in
Do we have
here.
artillery tonight? What?
We do, but I think we need to stop firing.
Artillery at the moment is pretty much useless because of enemy recon. They just keep picking us off. So we tried our best we can keep
I
it
need
up.
him to stop. I need him to stop.
It's not.
Hey, I
it's
told him
not
to stop
like,
moving.
so.
I know. I'm just telling you guys.
Alright, what's over here that they're shooting at?
These
Nothing
fuckers are
at the
finding
moment.
our carries so fast.
Above the Jig infantry mark, probably about, I don't know, 20 or 30 meters.
Looks like Recon's got a flare, so they have a general idea that there's not too many people on the north side, so they might concentrate their effort to the north.
garrison marker is
Because
accurate.
a lot of the German positions right here are to the south, trying to push Rousseau. They are getting a little bit of forward progress. They were back on this
You guys
hedgerow
got a
right here,
tank
and
line,
now they're
lay that
kind
shit
of
down.
slowly moving themselves forward to try to get to
I'm not
this line
seeing
right
any
here.
tank lines.
Not the massive pressure that there was before. Something just ate
You'll be
shit.
surprised how many kills you'll get.
Item tank ping is accurate.
What here just died? That
Yeah,
looks
sorry, buddy,
like
I just now got
another
the
Sherman
information
just
in
ate
from him.
shit. And looks like the Panther's driving away.
Garrison down.
That's going to be a little bit of a problem for the Allied side because, as a bit of antithesis to the real problems of the war, in real war, the Germans couldn't replace their armor losses, and the Americans had tanks for days. Presumably with the fuel situation of the Germans, since none of their nodes have been threatened, they should be able to pump out Panthers and Panzer IVs indefinitely, whereas the Allies have much more of a fuel crunch. However, right now, it looks like the node situation is getting a lot better, and very soon
Panther on Charlie
they
marker,
might be able to
accurate.
put down an encouraged in order to recoup some of their losses in material and get what they need for a long continued fight, because it's very possible that this will go all the way to time. So we may be here for another 45 minutes. Looks like we've got a pretty heavy push on Cemetery right now. The Germans don't have the numbers at the center point, and it looks like they're starting to get overwhelmed by the Americans. Let's see how the Germans adjust to that situation, if they continue to assault Rousseau, or if they take a more defensive standpoint. Cap progress is being threatened on Cemetery right now.
Stay out of that bombing run, boys. On Cemetery, watch out.
We have a 2nd-AD squad right here trying to flank
Really
around
watch
to
out.
the south. If they knew that this was a 3-on-1, they'd advance with grenades and everything, but you never really know how many people
It's accurate.
you're
That
really
is it
up
right
against.
Yo, Renly.
We got a bombing run coming up on Cemetery,
You read?
and that is,
Propane.
oh, devastating bombing run.
We're walking into it.
I'm not walking into it.
And just narrowly avoids killing their own people. And now we've got a lone panther who walks right into janitors. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Good shit.
Oh, he misses the shot. That was kind of
Joe, for now, if
surprising.
you want to go ahead and move up, I think we got to kind of cover back here.
Still going up those rivers.
Janitor has more rockets. He must have had an explosive ammo box right there, so he's going to go chase down the tiger, and he gets the tiger.
Yeah, I already took it out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna chill with you then.
I heard some
Enemy tank
footsteps
is
walking around.
destroyed. We got it.
That was completely unexpected, and now they've got good progress on Cemetery.
I've got a sweet garrison for attacking hospice, and we've already cleared it with spawn, so we can cap this.
I would definitely caution against driving the Panther through this little narrow valley, because if you run into enemy infantry, there's no
We'll be
room
coming
to
up to the
maneuver.
south of Cemetery and help you guys out.
So that was a little bit of a misstep by the 2nd Armored Crew right there.
North.
We've got an explosion to the north. What just got destroyed? Just a transport truck. The Allies are still hard capping Cemetery.
North of Rousseau is hot.
However, the Germans are starting to get a little bit of defense here, and it's flipped to contested. So it looks like their defensive squads are coming back. Looks like they've abandoned the
Garrison
attack
our
so
defense
far.
on the
There's
north side.
no Germans to the north.
Hey, prepare next tank's
Yep, we're
flanking
dealing with
is 76 mid.
Please capture cemetery so I can get the half track up the hospice.
Propane, be careful. There is at least 2 guys around your building, just west of you.
I heard you die. Biscuit,
Aw.
you asked for a 76. I got a minute or so until I got enough fuel, okay?
And it looks like the Allies are going to take Cemetery. What does Hospice
Garrison
look
on my
like right
body.
now? They do have firm
We're
control of
redeploying
the
up.
Everybody
Hospice,
off the
the
defense
Germans
point.
do.
Make sure on cemetery
Yep,
first.
They
we're
did get
redeploying. Give us about 30 seconds, we'll be
defenses
there.
back in time, so that there's no steamroll
We're
cap.
gonna attack Gary already up for hospice. Let's get moving, get the pressure up instantly.
If you're running up to cemetery, kill yourselves because you're wasting time.
He means in game.
guys.
I mean, in game. That's
No,
We've got 2nd Armored versus 2nd Armored
See,
violence right
I
here.
don't
We've
care
got
if you're
Winter Mute
KD,
versus
we're
Burger
winning.
Boy.
Do you want easy
Oh,
squad?
good nade by Winter Mute. Let's see if it connects.
On my pings,
Nope.
there's enemy infantry, possibly an outpost garrison near there.
Hey, propane, can we get a 76 mid?
Burger's flanking Winter Mute. Does Winter Mute hear it? It sounds like he hears it, but it sounds like Burger Boy's just giving up on it, and Winter Mute's going to go
Joe,
finish
do you
off
want to watch
Burger.
the south again, and we'll watch west and north?
Cemetery, yeah, sounds good.
Got you.
Tatsu, be careful. On that road, I did just see 1 enemy infantry there. I don't know if he's like with a satchel or not.
Yeah, I just. We got shot at. Hold on.
Stan's kind of
Enemies in
caught
the
behind a
north of
rock and a
cemetery.
hard place right now. Looks like
Mark,
he's
you see something?
They got us
hiding.
right as we spawned.
I just dropped the guy across the street.
Stan's going for the noob
Enemy
tube shot.
infantry on my L mark in the north.
That's,
somewhere. I couldn't get the half track that way.
Yeah,
Not one.
that's not going to work for him. Germans have hospice secured for the moment. Still have a little bit of attack pressure on Cemetery, so it's not going to be a counter sweep.
Jig Mark north of Cemetery. They're in these buildings.
And this game has gotten a lot closer than they thought it was going to be earlier. Got another explosion here. It's another truck down.
Yep, tank to the southwest of cemetery.
Got an allied flare up, and it looks like the Puma's been marked.
I think that evil
I'd
Garrison's
identify
still
it.
up.
Looks this is Flo's tank crew here in the Puma. When you're playing with the Puma, you don't want to be staying in one place for too long. You kind of want to be moving around and getting some angles and getting some shots, because tank crews like Mark's here can one-shot you. And you certainly don't want that to happen. And, yep,
Really close to the
almost on cue.
cemetery.
They trade.
Yep, very close to the west, northwest.
Try to get some pressure on hospice so they don't full send it.
We're going for the heavy boys.
Yep, we're moving into hospital.
It looks
They're
like the
hitting our Garrett
Germans are
already as well.
starting up with artillery
This
again,
gets
and that's
coming
a
towards that
good
tank,
artillery
so you
hit,
just
and it
keep
looks
marking
like
it
there's
so you
some
can look to
cap
push on it.
progress for the very small moment. We've got one gun run by Ginger.
Yo, we don't got any bodies on cemetery, boys.
Have we got wiped? We're coming back.
And it looks like Ginger
Gonna get
has
some south.
wiped out a lot of the Allied
The armor will
position
start
on
heat
cemetery
rounding
here.
cemetery.
Let's see if that bombardment continues, or if that was just a couple of shots to get things
We
started.
still need another set of node. Our northern attack Gary's been taken out.
We've got a reinforcement wave spawned into cemetery by the garrison of the Allies.
Need to get another attack Gary going.
Looks like we've got a Stuart here moving up the street with infantry escort. This is the proper way to do it. Make sure you've got some infantry to keep yourselves clear of any harassment from anti-tank or satchel crews. The attack on cemetery has died out a little bit, but there's still a little bit of pressure coming here. But I think most of the battle for the Germans is at Hospice, and the Germans have very good map control of Hospice. Explosion right here just took out some of the attackers there. And that is from a
at the map, look at the
Panther
recon.
by Lucky Strikes. Yeah, it looks like they're going to continuously pepper this little position right here, and
deadly
there goes the attackers. So there's no attack pressure on Hospice at the moment. There's a little bit of attack progress on Cemetery, but not a whole lot. Nothing the defenders can't handle at the moment. However, this favors the German side.
King and
All they
Charlie,
need to do
enemy
is
supplies
hold this
coming
position
around
for
somewhere around
34
guys are
minutes,
at
and
somewhere
they get the win.
Yeah, I'm
So
more worried
the
about
onus is
King.
on
It's wrecking
the
our
Allies
base at the moment.
to get something done and find a way to take Hospice. And Hospice is not a
It's
very
coming
easy point to
down
get.
the main road to cemetery.
Once it's firmly defended by one side, they can control all this real estate right here, which they have very good map control on the cause of the Germans. You might want to leave like 2 or 3 guys back here, especially in this 3-story building, and maybe back here in this 2-story building with a machine gun or some position to prevent any sort of airhead or anything. But
I hear you, Biscuit. Are they near you?
some
Joe, are we
tank
supposed to
just
have an
ate
AD
shit
dude on our
here.
team?
That's
I'm
a
not talking
Panzer
about
IV.
aviation, there's another guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Infantry on my mark.
I don't
boys,
think we
100%
need it, but
attack.
it's alright. It's not a big deal.
I got one guy with me for the sniper.
It's alright.
King, what's the status on that tank?
Dead. We're enemy garrison's also down. We killed a tank and a garrison.
Good shit. Yo,
Oh, yeah.
Joe, see if you can set up another defense Gary.
Run the decup.
Alrighty.
I can hear you. What's up?
Renly,
There's a
just
long-
north of
there's
you,
recon
there are 2 or
behind
3
cemetery,
guys on
boys.
the road that we usually have to cover during our Hospice 18v18 matches. They've got an OP or Gary.
Alright, as far as map control is going on Cemetery, it looks like the German assault has pretty much petered out.
What size tank is that?
There's a token assault from one squad coming here from the west, and we've got recon pressure
Yo, there's
from
a
the
shit
east.
ton crossing the field to the west.
Looks like Cecil is keeping an
West
eye
Cemetery.
on this 76 here that's moving to the north, commanded by TOG Biscuit.
See the guys who you're
And
talking
we'll
about.
keep an eye on this and see how this develops. I believe that the
South
Germans still
Cemetery,
have a
ROP.
Panther somewhere up north defending Hospice. So those two might come to each other. And a tank just got taken out by a precision strike.
Joe, can you guys hold him down there?
That
we're doing
was
good,
the
okay.
Panther. Panther
Gotcha.
was taken out by this precision strike, so that was Lucky Strike's Panther is now gone. Good precision strike by the
Enemy
Allies there.
garrison found. It's being dismantled.
This is just a supply drop here.
Enemy garrison dead.
I like this tactic by the Germans, taking control of this road. That's
Northwest
very
of
good at
cemetery,
exerting
even
map
closer.
control because you control this entire open field here. The Allies are coming up from the south, though.
Joe, you're
It
looking
looks
right
like they
at one
might
right
have
to your left.
extended
He's coming down
themselves
that
a
hedge
little
row.
bit too far.
Alrighty, I'll try
And
to
there's
flank.
not enough
I wish you said that
defense
a little bit sooner.
actually at the hard point.
Sorry, man.
Let's see if they do a
So
little
I
bit
can
of a
spawn on
pivot
that
and
little
come
area.
back and defend the actual
They,
hard
they
point when
might
they
flip opposite
find out
sides.
that they're getting attacked
I'll
from the
try. I
south.
gotta cross a pretty open area though.
I know. Good luck.
Hospice
We'll see.
is
Take
getting
your time,
cap
do your
progressed.
best.
And there's pretty much no attack on cemetery right now.
King's moving around Hospice to find some Garys.
We are taking artillery on cemetery right now. Nothing too accurate though.
Alright, let's see if the Germans realize they've overextended themselves a little bit too far.
Yo, we've got a enemy outpost on
Yeah,
item P.
this squad here with Ghost and Flam and Stan the Man have gone too
Whoever has
far
medic core,
and are no longer counting
He's
for the
right on there.
defense. It looks like they realized it and they
Garrison
wheeled back
south
around.
of
Let's see if it's
Hospice
in time.
and east of Western approach is up, so try to hop on
Are
that once
the
you get
German
Hospice
garrisons
towards
threatened, or do they still have their secure
Uncali's
spawn
body
points?
up to the north.
We shall
Play that
see.
Gotchatsu, hold your position
We
out
see some
there,
tank rounds
see
here
if
to
you
the
can find a good
south.
spot for it.
Okay.
Sorry, thank you.
yeah, northwest.
It
It
looks
seems
like there's a Puma right here with Flo engaging a lone spotter. And
Hey,
he doesn't know
Fox,
where
can
they
you
are
ping that
apparently.
tank? I can't get up. He's shooting at me.
Yeah.
Looks like Angus up here is coming up with a supply truck, but he's going to be driving right into enemy forces who are starting to surround Hospice. Not looking good for the Germans right now. They had their big push in the beginning and almost swept the enemy off the map in 15 minutes, but
He's moving.
right
should be
now it looks
clear
like the
now.
Allies have regained control and have pushed back with a vengeance here.
Yeah, Fox, they dropped supplies somewhere back here. I just can't find it.
Looks like
Yeah, I'm
Captain
gonna go
Spears'
clear off our
infantry
garrison real
is
quick.
debating
Enemy supply
whether or
drop
not
coming in
to
on item P. I'm
attack
gonna try and get to the
cemetery
supplies
or
before they
come north and defend Hospice. Whereas the Allies, it looks like the Allies have actually
Eastern side of
taken
cemetery
over
on
control of
Eglise.
Hospice.
Hey, Wyndham, y'all watch your ass. I'll be here at the top of the group.
Let's see if the Germans pivot and go toward a more
They got me,
defensive
but
posture.
those supplies
Now
are
that
down on
they've
my garrison
lost
team.
control
Almost
over the
accurate.
town section here. They are getting their respawns, so let's see how that works out for them.
Okay, I'm gonna hide this shit up here for a moment.
The 76 is moving their way in.
Joe, you guys keep holding that south side. We're holding from the north.
They are to the east, not behind us.
Enemy garrison on my ping.
And unfortunately, machine guns are not going to beat a tank. So they're going to have to do something to combat the 76. And the 76 does have, for the moment, a little bit of infantry support. So let's see if Stan remains patient. He went for a front shot on the 76, and that's just not going to end well for him.
We're just all hiding.
I'll post down on Hospice.
They dropped supplies, and there's a half track moving down the road on my light infantry or light tank marker.
Looks like Captain Spears has got a half track going straight down the main road. Hopefully he'll be pulling off soon and getting off the thoroughfare to hide that and not make it too obvious.
Copy.
Looks
Hey,
like the
try your
Germans
guard
have
biscuit,
regained the
whoever
number
team that is.
advantage, and they're gonna start working to clear out these buildings. Looks like Marx has a full squad up in this 3-story building. Ghost and Large Mouse are trying to clear it out, and it looks like Marx's team has got the advantage for the moment, but we'll see how that works out. Meanwhile, the Germans have kind of secured themselves a little bit, and we'll see if they go full court
Enemy
defense
garrison
or if they
Alpha, Mark.
continue to
It's
come
gone
over
now.
here
Mark
and
those tanks.
put pressure in the cemetery. Looks like a German strafing run came a little bit too late to save the garrison here. The supplies are still intact, so in theory they could still put up another one.
One light, one medium.
No more cat progress on the center
Guys,
plane.
they're in gardens on hospice area.
We've got a Puma right up here. And where
Sorry about
is
that,
the
propane.
76 is still here. Looks like Untel's playing a cat and mouse game, trying to get behind it.
Dealing with enemy outposts behind it. We should be able to get that down though.
He's got an ash shot,
Good shit.
and there's a front shot there.
Also, you're sweeping the back.
Untel's going for the flank. Looks like Dell just got taken out by Janitor. Untel's going in for the second shot. Good shot by Untel.
I got 2 guys on top.
One shot from the front. That front armor is going to be able to tank
gonna
quite a
try
few
to
AT
eliminate
rounds,
artillery
so
for you guys,
they're going to
boys.
have to try to work their way around.
Hey, Ringling, can you get another garrison up to the
One
north,
shot here,
east?
missed a little bit long. If he made contact, he actually
Okay.
probably would have ended up killing quite a few. Alright, does Untel have another rocket?
Still good.
No.
Item outpost is lighting up.
Alright, looks like the 76 is going to repair. Is the Puma going to try to
Thank you
get
for the
some
call,
shots
Andrew.
on it? I don't think that's going to be to his advantage unless he goes all the way around and flanks
I lost
him.
visual, but Jigmark has a Puma coming from the south of cemetery. Lost visual again.
The Puma did put a round into the 76. And it looks like Stan's coming in and
Coming up
Ryan's
behind
coming in
you,
for the satchel. So I think the 76's day is numbered. I think Ryan's going to call off the AT guys and just get a satchel planted here. Satchel has been planted, so this 76
They already
is
got ambushed outside.
yeah, this 76 is done for. It's a solo tanker right now and it's covered by infantry. So yeah, these Germans need to back up and clear the 76 before it blows up.
Outpost
Losing
is
half of your
lighting up
defensive
on
force
cemetery.
because you're too close to a tank that you satcheled would be a horrible way to lose the point. We have about 10 more seconds, or 10 more milliseconds, we'll watch the fireworks of
There's a
the
recon
76
turret
getting taken out.
Alpha tank on Alpha marker
Just
going.
76 mid for her.
Looks like Hospice has been satcheled. I don't remember offhand who actually held that building at the moment, but considering the number situation, I think that might have been held by the Germans. And the Allies are starting to get some numbers
Tank is
forward.
on Alpha.
We haven't looked at Cemetery for the moment. Let's see if there's any sort of
Watch out,
a
behind you,
counterattack
medium.
here,
There's a
and
tank
it
down the
doesn't
road.
really look like it. We've got
Jenny, you remember
one
getting this,
recon team back here
I'll get
dealing
the
with
garrison up, right?
sporadic
I'm gonna go to the
infantry
south and get
contacts.
everyone
And it looks like they haven't really, Spears hasn't really gotten his infantry
Enemies at
squad
the,
to attack
infantry at
cemetery.
the
I think they're
church.
just guarding the south.
We need a bombing run towards hospice. We got half track out here.
Garrison's down on cemetery.
Give me Mark.
Well, we'll see 2 more bombing runs in
Everybody's
theory.
doing
Four
it.
and
At least 2 more bombing runs by both sides, so let's see how the resource use goes. The Germans have lost control of the eastern half of Hospice,
Yo, Abel, did you get that garrison that was down there?
but it
Yeah.
looks like they've got an
Alright,
infantry
good shit.
squad pushing back north, so they might be able to squeeze them. Something just blew up here. Looks like it's another transport truck. And I've clipped into a building accidentally. Sorry about that, guys.
I'm running inbound on hospice.
Bombing run is inbound on Hospice. Doesn't look like it's going to do anything. If anything, it's actually going to take out their own
Yeah, Abel, we
guys.
got a lot coming towards you.
majority of the German forces are to the west of this road here. Looks like Marks
Enemy half
just
track down.
took out the half track.
Good
on
shit,
the
boys.
point.
Let's take hospice.
So there's going to be a couple of team kills here with this bombing run, potentially. Nope.
8-7 garrison.
We see the push.
So bombing run has done nothing.
Southeast of cemetery. Was taken
Unfortunately, they
South.
put that in the wrong sector. We've got another explosion right
Right,
here,
get it up,
which
Joe.
looks to be another
Or is that the
transport
one
truck.
y'all just placed?
We have a allied commander
They're
is
trying to
coming
cross
up
the
with a
field
half
to the
track.
west again. Our northern garrison
Let's
of
see how
cemetery
long
is
that
hot.
lasts. Largemouth sees it, and there's an anti-tank along with him, so I
Charlie,
don't
you
think that
just
this
lost
is
the
going to
garrison right
last
beside
long.
you, brother.
I expect Dell to take this thing out almost immediately.
They're coming in from the northeast.
Yeah, northeast of cemetery. Our guy got killed.
So Dell is moving in. He might be out of. He must be out of rockets if nobody has.
We should be
Nobody's
able to
blown
beat
up
We have a
this
couple
half
guys
track.
close if you want to get through that intersection.
They're nading it, and they're just denying it as a spawn point for the moment, unless this is an AT satchel class. It's an AT satchel class.
Our half
Okay,
track
so
is
satchel's
hot.
been planted on the half track, so that half track's gonna die. I think Dell might actually stay in the vicinity and go down with the ship in order to keep it from being a viable spawn point. No, he's retreating. The Allied attack on Hospice has fizzled out
Hey,
a
I'm
little
gonna bring
bit.
this half track on our side of
The
hospice.
Germans have got
Hospice.
numbers forward, and they're starting to clear off that advance. The half track actually did get a spawn, and this is gonna wipe. This is gonna get a squad wipe. Yep.
Hey, Commander's half track moving northeast out of middle HQ.
Good kill on the
spawn
Germans.
of The enemy.
Good kill on the Germans.
Just be aware.
Hey, Chan, do you think you can hold this? I want us to go up there and try to put some more pressure, and we can get behind hospice.
Meanwhile, down south, we have
We can try
no
to.
attack pressure whatsoever on Cemetery. It looks
I'm
like the
deploying my
Germans
half
are
track to
going
these
for
guys
full
still.
court
They're doing
defense.
decent, but
That does bite you in
Gentlemen,
the ass
listen, I got half track left
sometimes.
side of hospice. Utilize this while it's still up.
Looks like they got a flare up to see who's on
Top left of
Cemetery.
hospice.
Are the Germans using artillery
Yeah, we need
to
every bit
pummel
of assault on
Cemetery
that, boys.
still? If they were, they're not anymore. It looks like Allied recon is coming from the artillery, and looks like they cleared out a enemy artillery. So looks like Ginger Bastard is not pummeling Cemetery at the moment. There's pretty much no attack pressure on Cemetery, and that could be costly for
Enemy
the
infantry on
Germans if they
Top
don't
of G3 garrison.
force the Allies to keep at least some forces back in defense.
yo, Biscuit, you've got
We've
infantry
got
working with you.
Biscuit up here in the 76. Going to be making his way towards St. Mary Eglise. The recon team right here is Cecil, trying to
Hey, in
keep
front of
as
me, I just
many trying to keep as many Allied forces back to defend
Got a fan
Cemetery.
out. I'm pretty sure you know where the half track is now.
So basically, the point of this is you're using your recon teams to attack Cemetery from multiple vectors, making it look like it's
Garrison's
surrounded.
hot. Garrison's hot.
And if you can
Clear.
make enough of a ruckus
half track
and threaten their spawn points enough, these 4 recon
Boys are
people
countering our
can
half track.
seem
Get
like
it-
2
get
or
an
3
AT on
squads
it.
of
Come on,
infantry,
get it.
and it can draw a lot of forces away from the attack on Hospice. So it's actually a fairly good strategy in terms of economy of force. Biscuit is retreating the 76 to Cemetery. So, I mean, this is a good PsyOps job
Northeast
by
of
the German
Cemetery,
recon
Kulaj.
teams right here. There's a lot of forces back here defending
Can you get me a
Cemetery
ping?
Yep, it's on Jake Martin.
at the
still
cost of
We-
basically 4 guys. Meanwhile, the Germans have regained a good amount of map control on Hospice. They've got both sides of the street. They've got the key 3-story building. And they just need to clear a little bit of remnant forces out of the north end and possibly deal with a spawn point on the north end. We got just under 20 minutes left in
Lost visual on the Puma.
what turned out to be one hell of a fight. For those of you joining late or skipped through the first half of the video thinking I was just going to be boring because you watched the length of this video and figured that the first part of this is a throwaway, it certainly wasn't.
Oh yeah.
This was very close to being a 5-0 in only 15 minutes. They were about halfway through, the Germans were about halfway through capping Rousseau, the final point, and the Americans have turned it around. They held Rousseau, they mounted a defense, they were mounted a successful attack on Cemetery, and they seriously threatened Hospice. And this is going to be an action-packed 19 minutes. And I don't know, I'm going to take a guess and say that a point may change hands at least one more time today. The Germans might do a sneaky counterattack on Cemetery, or the Allies might regain Hospice.
On the road.
There's a lot of time left here. Looks like there's a Panzer II right on this intersection right here, but there's no infantry support, so that's not gonna...
Hey, Lux in the middle of Hospice.
Alright, good kill on the Lux on Inferno right there. And it looks like the Lux is retreating toward the friendlies. Like I said before in this, tanks are very vulnerable when left out to their own devices. They can get flanked, they can get satcheled. You really need a couple of infantrymen to guard the flanks and keep anything bad from happening. Speaking of bad from happening, Marx is potentially maneuvering for a rocket strike on this Panzer II, and it only takes one to the ass in order to kill it. And Marx is moving in, and he misses the first shot. Yep. There we go. He's spinning, and he gets it.
Alrighty.
Very important with a full crew like that to start spinning around.
There is an
Air-headed bombing run on Cemetery.
The tank is on the move. I'm on top of the tank, so just watch me.
German has bomb-run Cemetery.
Recon planes inbound over Georgia.
I don't know where the airhead is on Cemetery, but the Allies are beginning to get cap progress on Hospice, so I don't know, there's really not too much attack progress on Hospice. Maybe that bombing run was better used defensively, but...
Hey, they got infantry in our backline area.
We're going to see what happens here. This is going to be a hard fight either way.
Yeah, they're pushing in from the east.
Understood.
Hey,
looks like the Panther II is damaged. Using a supply drop in order to kind of hide, and he's gotten himself stuck on this pole.
Airhead is directly southwest outside of Cemetery. It's right on the corner of the wall.
We got
I think somebody got it.
Foxtrot tank marker.
Never mind.
No, it is not down, Joe.
The airhead is up and active. Let's see what happens here.
We lost
the recon team is successfully guarding it.
Alright.
Good kill by Attack Pelican, defending this airhead. We've got a spawn by Captain Spears.
They'll be like coming from like your northwest.
And the Germans have cap progress on Cemetery. We said we might have another territory capped in this last 20 minutes, and this is a strong push by Spears and Lucky Strikes on Cemetery, and there's only a couple of people left here. Let's see if Attack Pelican sees this real awesome name, dude. I don't know about the name, but that's a real awesome spot right there, picking people off. And he's finished off by Attack Pelican. And Attack Pelican is heading toward a group of enemies. Does he take out the OP? He's meters away from doing it. If he tries to flank around the left... Oh, he's bandaging. He's hurt. If he flanks around to the left instead of going straight ahead, he might have taken out that OP. Instead, he gets whooped by Joe.
Bombing run inbound on Cemetery.
More than half cap on cemetery, and the allies just don't have the numbers here.
Hey,
They've got
tank
one
grenade-
OP spawn right
tank
here that
across the
attack
field,
Pelican
open
almost
field.
got at the very end here.
Towards our spawn, towards their spawn.
To
They're
your-
dropping
to your
supplies
left.
to try to get an emergency garrison up, but I'm sure the Lucky Strikes team down here sees it. And a couple of well-placed grenades might do this in. That's a allied bombing run, and I think it's going to. I think this is going to work. I don't think they've got a spawn point over here anymore.
Get on that Gary.
Alright, we got
Pretty
the
much
attack
everyone but
area.
King.
This is going to come down to the wire
You
here.
guys
Let
need
me
to
look at
fan
Rousseau
down
real
all
quick.
that shit, too.
There is no steamroll cap set up at Rousseau. They do have defensive squads here at Rousseau. So I think it's just all in on trying to take cemetery. And it's being held at the very last second. There's a spawn wave coming in for Germany, and that's going to do it. Cemetery has been lost. So this is huge. If there's a full court defense of cemetery by the Germans win if they get to 4 minutes left without cap progress. So that's 2 minutes less that they have to hold on in order to get things taken care of.
It'll be too close,
And that's
we'll lock
2
up.
minutes of having to recap cemetery that the pressure's going to be off of hospice.
They're just gonna lock.
So it might actually not be that horrible of an idea to kind of let the recap of cemetery happen and focus on defending hospice.
Proximity to lock. And red
Because it's a very possible that there's a steamroll cap if you try to put too many
supplies
people in a
dropping until
cemetery.
7. Need a squad lead a volunteer to build it.
We destroyed one of their outposts on cemetery as well.
Because right now the Germans really don't have too much of a presence here, although it looks like they built a garrison back here somewhere. Oh, they've got a garrison up on cemetery, so we do have full defensive progress on cemetery. This is going to be a fight. Although a grenade or a tank round or something just squad wiped cemetery. Or possibly an artillery shot. And it looks like Recon is making a beeline back to try to eliminate this artillery, but it might be a little bit too little too late. Because that was a devastating artillery shot by the Americans. They get another wave spawn, they need to spread out.
Got that garrison up. Try to make sure it doesn't stay locked.
Alright, here's the 76 pushing in. Where's the German armor?
I know, just said we're trying
It
to make
looks
sure
like they've got two 76s down here. Again, we'll be looking out for the German response with their armor, but it looks like they're getting kind of hosed off the point right here. Do they have hospice secured yet? No, it looks like they've left hospice more or less abandoned. And there's still a 3-man team right here waiting for the steamroll cap, so this is very dangerous. If the Germans are focused on keeping cemetery, which they shouldn't be, they need to realize that this isn't going to work.
Cemetery.
They cannot spawn on cemetery right now. We have it totally locked down.
They need to kind
Panther,
of give
take
up on
mark,
that
Panther.
part of cemetery right there, and if they've got another garrison here, they need to kind of come up on that. We've got a Lucky Strikes Panther here trying to come in and deal with the 76s. Unfortunately, I don't think, unfortunately for him, I don't think he realizes that there's two of them. So, Joe obviously sees the Panther. He's marked him, so it's just a question of maneuvering right now.
He's facing the south.
And the Panther is dealing with marks.
Still accurate.
Hit the front armor and did no damage, but the damage is about to happen right now.
Put one in his ass! Fuck that motherfucker! Yeah.
Yep, and there goes the Panther.
Hey, if you want to drop some supplies around my position, we might be able to get a saucy garrison.
10 minutes left to go,
So you're able to
and
pass.
it looks like they're pouring a little bit of a wave in. If I were the Germans, I'd kind of realize that we're probably not going to be holding cemetery and just use it as a little bit of a break to get hospice secured. They do have at least a full squad, looks like 2 full squads defending hospice, so that's good for them.
Hold on, watch
They
out.
realize that this cemetery thing is not going to hold them. like I said, there was going to be a change in the map in the 20 minutes, and it looks like we're about 20 seconds away from having our second change in the map. Gain and loss of cemetery due to a
Yo, recon, see if you can
brilliant
wipe the
airhead
garrisons
and
on
a
hospice.
brilliant bombing run.
Already on it.
Let's completely transition the
I'm
shit
trying
over.
it as well.
Joe, you said there's a panther somewhere?
Yeah, he was on my jig mark. He was down there. Last visual.
The situation
the
with
cemetery?
fuel and
Oh, no, they got him.
supplies has
He falls down.
definitely
They got him.
Fucking got it.
definitely improved for the allies here. So 7 minutes to gain some cap progress on hospice.
Biscuit, let's just push these guys.
So I think at this point it's got to be full court
If you wanna go,
defense
Chan,
for the
Jig will
German
stay
side.
here.
There's no point trying to
Sounds
get
good.
cemetery. I think it's going to be all out attack versus all out defense. And in the next 6 minutes and 50 seconds, we're going to see who ends up pulling out the W on this one. Winner Mute with the sneaky takes out Spanky.
Enemy tank
And is
just
about
was
to
the
take out the
hospice. It looks
garrison.
To be a heavy one, be careful about that.
Greasy Wiener is going with the nade. Is it in time? No.
Supplies inbound, Fox.
Is he able to
There's
put
a
a
jumbo.
garrison right back up? Is there
Oh,
supplies
never mind,
here?
that's our tank.
Let's try and get another
Doesn't look
garrison
like
up
it.
on cemetery.
Gonna get one up the north.
The Panther is doing a safety spray of the area, but it
Guys,
is
we have
only
maintenance.
Winter
Take
Meets
this.
Recon
Mark,
team.
mark everything. If you see armor, please mark it.
Yes, sir. Let's wipe them.
Hey, we just
So
destroyed a
there's
garrison
one
and
Panther
destroyed
there.
about 2 sets of supplies on hospice. If we're gonna have a chance to win
shit.
this right now, we have to.
So it looks like they
suicide,
did get the
hospice.
supplies along to go with that
Gotcha, let's get
garrison,
it.
so they're going to have to get a replacement garrison up as soon as possible. We've got Raz here with support, Ginger here with support, so they've got plenty of potential supply drops in order to get their garrisons rebuilt.
That's what keep her with, brother.
Infantry on
Yo,
our
King,
left.
they're right there behind you. Right there in that hedge line.
Looks like this is a supply drop from the Allies,
Yeah.
and it's completely observed.
They're
So
pushing
this
cir-
supply drop is going to go down. Do they see the airhead though?
Airhead's landing in Echo 3 right now.
Oh.
I think Voodoo is heading toward the airhead, so Voodoo sees the airhead, and Ghost
Good shit,
took
Ridley.
and Flam in here took out the
AT
supplies.
on
There's nobody back here to guard the airhead.
Hold on, Biscuit. I got it.
Looks like Greasy Wiener sees it,
We good. We'll lead the way.
and he's heading to it, and Voodoo is heading to it. So
Hey, be careful on this,
unfortunately for them,
there's
this
a
airhead
vehicle going
situation
to
is
that
not
area
going
that's
to
trying
work.
catch up to it, but be
I
careful
know.
when you try spawning.
Let's see if Gimato is able to take out Voodoo. He does take
Jamato,
out
see if you
Voodoo,
clear that airhead.
Behind us?
I did.
and he's going to get hosed down by several infantrymen and a Puma. Is he going to run over Wintermute? Is he going to get run over? Oh, that's got to hurt.
That's okay.
All right, Ghost Jim is taking out
Alright, we're no
Gimato,
longer-
and the airhead
Put the
is
box.
destroyed. 4 more minutes left to decide the winner of this
Yeah.
match,
Be
and
careful. There's about 2 squads.
the
on
Allies are
on
going to
the area.
have to come up with something. That was one of their last hurrahs
Guys,
with
find
the
the heavy on hospice,
airhead and supply combo. It was
Now
a
would be
good
the time
decoy,
if we
but
need- if we can
unfortunately
get
for
one
them, it
person
looks
on the ground
like
on Artie.
it
Get
was
3-story
detected by the
grandmas
German
like hell.
forces. With play of this level, it's really hard for a play like that to
Send on
work,
back or something, Ridley.
because
There's
the second a
recon
plane
on
flies
Artie
over,
still.
the squad leaders are going to be looking to the skies, and they're going to see everything. So I think this is just going to be a
Let's go,
hard,
boys. We
a
got 3
hard
minutes to
push.
win this shit.
The recon teams are still back here engaging cemetery, and it's going to force at least a squad, maybe 2, to stay back and defend cemetery. So it's not going to be a full hard push on hospice. Because the second you completely abandon cemetery, all these 2 recon dudes need to do is step into the hard point, and they're going to win the cap race if you don't fall back. We've got a good hard push on the southeast corner by the Allied side, and it's just a question of winning the gun battles and overwhelming it. I mean, this is literally going to be a brute force attack. Let's see what the artillery situation is. Does the German side have artillery, and are they going to be pounding it with it? Doesn't look like it. If they knew which side they were coming with and were able to put down effective artillery fire, that might be interesting.
Artillery incoming, friendlies, watch out.
Looks like artillery smokescreen from the Allies in order to try to get things going.
I think I got that, Garrison.
Panther on Alpha mark in the middle.
2 minutes and 20 seconds in order to gain cap progress. I have a feeling that they're going to have at least a full 6-man squad on the
pretty much useless.
All right, just
on the center point at all times, and that's going to make it a little bit difficult. I think there's going to be a lot of smoke grenades and frag grenades thrown right now. We've got the use of a flamethrower by FaZe Chicken, and he has lit himself on fire, and he has suicided. Duck on oh no! Oh, you hate to see it. Oh, two of the TOG 25th team has been taken out by friendly fire flamethrower. That is unfortunate. That's one extra crispy chicken to go for TOG right there. Minute and 20 seconds left in order to gain cap progress. And it looks like Hospice is going full court defense. We've got a bomb drop that has taken out, looks like a little bit of the infantry, but it completely missed the 76. I don't know if that was made for the 76 or just made to kill infantry or a spawn point or something. We have a truck destroyed by the 76 here. And we're down to our last minute.
Jake Mark coming to the cemetery.
And it looks like the Germans are starting to lose a little bit of their cap weight here. They're going to need to make sure they've got enough people in the center. They have full control of the south, and it looks like they're sweeping up north. And they're getting cap progress on cemetery, so that might draw some of the forces to fall back. I think the forces here are just going to kind of camp out and hide in the center point. We're coming down to 20 seconds remaining, and it's pretty close, but with this spawn wave right here, I think it's going to be very difficult for the Allies in order to get it, and I think we're moments away from a GG here. Let's keep an eye on that little bar in the center. 3 seconds to gain cap progress. It's flickering. They're getting cap progress. No cap progress, that's good game. And it looks like Lucky Strikes and 2nd Armored have pulled off a last-second victory. And this really came down to the wire, because right now the Allies have regained control of Hospice. And even if they were able to get a little bit of cap progress early, it looks like
if
that...
you die, tell your men to go to cemetery so we can win the cap war.
It looks like the Germans were going to win cemetery anyway, because they've got the cap race there. So whether this is a 3-2 win or a 4-1 win, even if it's a 4-1 win, the score is not going to tell the tale of this, because this was one epic, hard-fought battle by both sides. And this really did come down to the last few seconds. This Panzer IV narrowly escapes destruction by the bombing run. Bombing run takes out a lot of the Allies instead. And it looks like the Germans might end up taking cemetery at the last second. So this is going to be a 4-1 win. But like I said, that doesn't tell the story. This was a hard-fought nail-biter to the end, and one hell of a game to watch and one hell of a game to comment. I hope all of you guys watching have enjoyed this. And this was moments away from being the comeback win of the century here. As we count down the last 15 seconds of the game, I'd like to thank you all for watching this, and I'd like to thank all of the people who came out here and fought this. From Lucky Strikes, 2nd Armored, the Old Guard, and 25th Panzer Grenadier Regiment. I'm Aviation from 2nd Armored, and thanks for watching.